welcome back to Star Cub Review. Today I'm gonna do another video for TV series, my section of TV series. For my second one, I have chosen to do one which in all aspects is controversial, I know, but I need to talk about it because after watching it, I've only got 2 episodes to go. I know it's very controversial and there's a lot of backlash, a lot of people hate it and think it's really, really stupid and it's woke, you know, all that kind of damn bullshit that people like to spew nowadays on YouTube and everywhere else. And that particular TV series I'm referring to is, of course, HBO Max's Velma, which came out this year, 2023, and Mindy Kaling is an executive producer on it and also stars in it. She does the voice of the titular character, Velma Dinkley. And it serves as a alternate origin story for Velma, but not also Velma, but for Mystery Inc. before they became Mystery Inc., where we get to see all the other characters, Fred Jones, Norval Rogers, which is Shaggy, Daphne Blake, and a whole host of other characters. And what can I say about it? It is aimed purely at adults, not for kiddies, not at all. I would not recommend this to a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old. I wouldn't even recommend it to a 10-year-old. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone under, you know, under teens. Older teens, yeah, but kids, no. It's purely aimed at adults. There's adult jokes in it, humor, you know, there's LGBTQ things in it, which I think is really, really good. You know, Mindy Kaling does this whole, you know, which I think is really, really good for the story, is we see a different dynamic switch in her character. You know, everyone, you know, back then never questioned, you know, any of their sexuality or anything like that. The original Hanna-Barbera cartoon. I personally didn't grow up with the original Scooby-Doo and the gang. You know, I was born in 86. You know, I wasn't around for when Scooby-Doo first came out, so I wasn't around for any of that to, you know, become attached to the original show. I've seen the original cartoon series and I like it. Don't get me wrong. But there's been many iterations of Scooby-Doo and the gang. And this one doesn't include Scooby-Doo. And rightfully so. I don't see a problem with Velma. You know, this one is an origin story based on her and Fred and Daphne and, you know, Norval Rogers, aka Shaggy, before they come, you know, into contact with Scooby-Doo. So, you know, Scooby-Doo doesn't need to be in it to, you know, to make everyone go, oh my god, oh, you know, this is, you know, this is what I fell in love with as a kid, blah, blah, blah. This one is aimed at adults. You know, it's purely got toilet humor, jokes, potty humor, you know, you name it. It's offensive, which I think is kind of funny. It's not, some of it's not taking itself too seriously. I mean, the jokes are really funny, and this whole controversy with everybody, you know, saying, oh, this is a disgusting series, you know, it's so woke, and, you know, anyone that likes the show is woke. Well, I say to all those people out there that really think that kind of bullshit, can quite frankly go and sit on my middle finger, to be quite frank. I personally loved the Velma series. I thought it was hilarious. It was funny. It really hones in on a lot of things nowadays that people just don't fucking bother to cover or even entertain adults with. You know, you got shows like Rick and Morty that really, and Big Mouth on Netflix. You got all those type of shows that are foul mouth. Human Resources is another one where it's full on friggin' potty humor, foul mouth content. Well, why can't you take an iconic series and jazzy it up for a new generation of people and stir the pot a bit and have fun with it. I mean, who said you had to stick to the original series and aim it at kids? I mean, adults can enjoy themselves too with adult-oriented cartoons and anime series and movies and stuff like that. Well, this one should be for people who enjoy it. I loved the humor of it. I thought it was funny. The in-jokes were funny. Some of it is not taking itself very seriously. That's the whole point. It really takes a dig at what came before it, but also sticking to what, you know, what everyone is peeved off about in, you know, nowadays everyone's peeved off about something not going right, or the fact that, you know, Shaggy was white in the original series and now they've done Shaggy as black. I mean, who gives a crap? Oh, and, you know, Velma happens to be of, you know, a different skin color as well, you know, and everyone kicked up a fuss about that. I mean, for God's sake, people, it's a fucking cartoon. It's a fucking adult animated cartoon series where we can all have a laugh and watch the insaneness of it all. It's funny, it's offensive, it's gory in spots too. It's what adults want. And I think for a lot of these, for me, being LGBTQ, the things that Mindy Kaling and HBO Max have added into this is spot on. I mean, I don't have a problem with any of it. And I'm gay myself. So, you know, watching it unfold where, you know, Daphne struggles with her sexuality and then realizes that she likes Daphne, spoiler alert, people, like, you know, there was those sort of questions way back in the day, even when I was growing up, when I was still a teenager. I would watch some of it, and there were friends of mine and whatnot that questioned, like, well, they never really, you know, people question, like, well, Velma never was really into guys or anything like that. But I can understand where some people are coming from, I really do. But to get all indignant and offensive and nasty about people liking a series because they like a series, I mean, grow up, people. I enjoyed it. I think it's funny. The themes are funny. It's a whole murder mystery. It's how they started. You know, I very much enjoyed it. And all this controversy behind Mindy Kaling back in the day, I think a few years ago, quite a number of years ago, she made an offensive tweet or something like that, in terms of she wasn't very supportive of trans people, or made a comment about trans people or something like that. I don't really follow all that that side of the controversy and why everyone hates Mindy Kaling. Everyone makes mistakes. Like a lot of people on Twitter or Facebook or whatnot, they come out with something offensive and then years later they've realized their mistake and really shouldn't have said that, but they said it back then. But, you know, people change over the course of a few years and stuff like that, and people grow up from that. So I don't really follow all that side of Mindy Kaling's controversy there. So, you know, I watched Velma with my husband, and we think it's hilarious. It's funny, it's enjoyable. I mean, it's something to tune your brain out of the real world and into something that's funny. I mean, look at Robot Chicken, for God's sake. Robot Chicken is offensive as fuck. And do people kick up a stink about that? No. So, you know, for all those people, you know, that call people woke for watching something that supposedly is fucking woke, you know, they are probably woke themselves. I'm sorry, but if you want to fucking call someone woke because they like watching a female-oriented show or movie or TV series or cartoon, then people like that need to grow the fuck up. They're really just being idiots. Quite frankly, they're being idiots. And I enjoy it. I don't find anything wrong with fucking Velma whatsoever. That I can't wait to see this season 2. It's in production now, and it has a 2024 release date. So, suck balls to all those fucking dickheads out there that thought it was going to be cancelled and, you know, it's a horrible series and whatnot. I say to all you people, you know, I enjoy it. I'm sure other people enjoy it. It takes me out of, you know, some of my everyday life, and I just like to have a laugh. So, yeah, this is just a chat about Velma, and this was my thoughts on it, and why, you know, people today, especially, you know, the new generation of kids, are fucked. They really are. They just really have no idea how to take themselves out and have a good laugh nowadays. Whereas, you know, me back then, growing up as a kid, I found lots of things funny and hilarious. And even in high school, there were a lot of things back then in the 90s that were extremely offensive back then. And today's standards of stuff can be quite offensive, but hey, I don't see anyone complaining about Rick and Morty. I don't see anyone complaining about Big Mouth or Human Resources or Robot Chicken. So, and they're some of the most offensive shows out there. So, to all the haters out there, grow up. But to everybody that has tuned into my channel or is new to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe if you like this video. For everyone returning, I really, really appreciate the likes. You know I do. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this finds a wide audience that can really chat about this sort of stuff freely without, you know, having judgment. I'm not going to judge someone for not liking it. I'm not going to be offensive. I'm not going to be offended if you don't like it. But to project hate onto somebody that you call them woke and whatnot is really unwarranted. This is a safe space, and it's for anyone that really just wants to chat. Like, put in the comments below what your thoughts are on Velma. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you hope to see in season 2? I'm hoping down the track they will eventually end up putting Scooby-Doo in it. But I'm not quite sure on that. I don't know if they legally have the license to actually use Scooby-Doo as such. I think that's why maybe they didn't add him in season 1, which is rightfully so, because Scooby-Doo doesn't fit into this particular saga at this stage, the first season. But if he does by the end of season 2, then we could go into season 3 where they're all together solving mysteries together, and that could be a whole lot of insane fun. But other than that, people, I leave you today with this one, and I will see you all in the next one. Don't forget to check out any of my other videos. I've got different sections. I've got a Mortal Kombat section, I've got a movie section, and a game section. I'll be adding more to the TV series section over the weekend and into next week. And I'll have some more content for you in a few hours. I'm going to do another review. And I will leave it there. I'll surprise you all later. Alright guys, take it easy. Bye.
Yeah.